All right, folks, good evening. Welcome to this installment of Call of the Wild Storylines. We have gotten all the way up to Silver Peaks, which is one of my favorite maps. Absolutely love this map. This map's got turkey, pronghorns, goats, sheep, mountain lions, mule deer, black deer, elk, bison. It's got a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be had here. So we're going to get right to it. And again, as always, thanks for joining me tonight. Always a pleasure to have you. Pop on over here. It's got a little turkey. Situated in the heart of the southern Rocky Mountains, blah, 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 but nobody cares. And away we go. And in grand tradition, we should fall through the floor. If all goes well. Hell of a view.
Welcome to where I call home. I've been roaming these parts since I was old enough to, well, roam. There isn't a mountain or lake out here that hasn't been explored by either me or my dad. I hope that you get a chance to fall in love with Silver Ridge Peaks. If you're anything like me, it won't take long.
That was a very brief intro. Guy's like, yo, how you doing? I hope you like it here. Oh my god, we did not fall through the floor. But we also can't quite move yet. Okay, come on. Let me move. Oh, pop in. I think we're still loading.
Good morning. I hope you got a chance to grab a big breakfast before heading out. There's a lot of ground to cover and it's tough on an empty stomach. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be glad to know that I already have a job for you. While things are quiet, I've been using our outpost to store essential supplies. There is an outpost not far from you that has a small stockpile of bottled water and canned goods. I need you to grab some things from this outpost and ferry them over to one of our observation towers. Don't worry, it's not a long journey. You'll be back to hunting in no time. Before now, we've always just used the lakes for drinking water. But ever since Dad got ill, we've had to put emergency measures in place. We always had emergency supplies, of course. But now we need to account for the possibility that our entire water table is polluted. Dad and I are convinced that it's just the one lake, polluted by the old mining sump next to it. But it's taking forever to get tests done, and it's not worth the chance of someone else getting sick.
Last time I was here, I guess I hunted the Two Fawns area. Got some ground blinds and a heck of a lot of purple. Dead zone pressure. Oh yeah, that's done. All right. Didn't fall through the ground, but definitely can't move. Just as well, because we're probably going to be teleporting. 3.5 miles. I'm sure there's something nearer. This map is not... This is not Silver Ridge, is it? Sometimes the maps don't load quite correctly. This is fast travel to there. Hey, Elite. Thanks for the well wish. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's one of my favorite maps. It did not mark my quest on the map, but it's gotta be this one, right? Let's line it up. This one. Okay. 0.73 miles still. This one. It would have been a lot faster if it had marked it on the map like it was supposed to.
This is the place. The supplies should be laid out, ready for you to pick them up. We need at least 6 water bottles, a couple of cans of peaches or whatever we've got there. And there should be a stack of flyers. Grab them too.
Sure thing, boss. I will grab all that stuff. What's running away from me? We got some prongs. Yeah. Okay. Some nice bison. All right, we got the flyers. We got the water.
Fantastic. The tower isn't too far to go from here.
All right, let's see. Is there anything to shoot down there? Nice open area. Oh, I gotta do some climbing too. See, last time I was on this map was back in October. Before I started doing this series of quest playthroughs. Alright, for weapons tonight, we are using 7mm bolt action and 22-250. These were the same ones I brought over from, was it Quattro Colinas we did? It's kind of my favorite setup. Covers everything except for the class 1s, which I don't tend to be interested in anyway. Perhaps someday I will shoot the turkey. Yeah, we're almost there. Now we just have to climb this really steep hill. Or go around slightly to the left on this really steep hill. I don't think I would have made it up that directly.
You found the tower.
Indeed.
There's hopefully a free shelf inside, somewhere you can stash the supplies. Oh, you should hang on to a couple of the flyers, though.
Alright, we drop off these water bottles. And I'm assuming then we're going to have to go post the flyers, which would make sense. Probably take us to that lake that's next to the mine he was talking about.
Fantastic. That tower should have everything it needs now. How's the view from up there?
It's lovely.
It's great to have a hunter like yourself around. I'm grateful for your help with the supplies. I can't wait to hear your Silver Ridge hunting stories. Things have been quiet here recently, but with a hunter of your caliber on the reserve, we're going to show folks that this is still the best place in the Rockies to hunt. Plus, you're not the only one working with us. We were able to convince Remy Warren to visit, and he's been logging his solo hunts out here for a week or so. He's got a pretty decent following online, so hopefully he's impressed with the reserve. When I proposed using social media to promote the reserve, the board were a little hesitant. But they're giving us a chance to try something new, and I'm sure it'll be worth it. So I suppose you were wondering why I wanted you to grab the flyers, right?
No, not really.
There are people who come out here just to visit the lake. I'm fine with people standing on the shore, but until we know exactly what's going on, we need to keep people out of it. I had these flyers made up so we can pin them to our bulletin boards. There's a trail that leads straight to the lake, so I'd like you to pin up one of these flyers at the trailhead.
Okay.
The flyers cover the basics: heavy metals, mining waste, and why to avoid diving in. It's not much, but until we know more, it's all we have. The lake is beautiful, and it's always pulled in visitors. It still looks the same as it ever did. Maybe even better, now that it's calm and peaceful. But now, I can't look at it without seeing what it did to my dad, or what it's doing to the reserve. People discover that we have one contaminated lake and assume that the reserve isn't worth visiting anymore. So far, the local wildlife seems okay, but our bookings for visitors, and especially hunters, have dried up.
Well, yeah, I don't want to have some heavy metal contaminated deer.
I have a few contingency plans that I want to try out. I'm a little nervous, though, as our board can be a little conservative. And if my ideas don't involve pulling in hunters, it can be really tricky to get them on board. It was easier to convince the board to invite yourself and Remy into the reserve, given that you're both hunters with good reputations. I'm glad you said yes.
I'm actually wearing the Remy Martin skin, so it would be absolutely hilarious. We got two clone Remys running around. Alright, we reached the trailhead. Nice. Ooh, signs. I get to read the signs. This map's also kind of interesting because it has a whole lot of main quests and like no side quests. Oh, we got here. We got a map.
One down, one to go.
Warning,
Keep following the
contaminated
trail
water.
to the lake.
Yeah, that's the sign. Ooh, I could be a yoga instructor. 35 an hour. That ain't half bad. Those were okay signs. Nothing really cool, though. Oh, found the bush. Now that is a hell of a sound. What's that
Take a
supposed to
look at
be?
the water.
Oh, that the pronghorn.
If
It's
I
been so
hadn't told
long.
you, would you suspect that the lake was dangerous?
Yes. Always suspect lakes are dangerous. You get like giardia and dysentery and shit like that. Always properly sanitize your water, folks. Ooh. I think I might shoot that guy. Oh, one and done. Oh, we sliding. One and done. That must have been a heart shot.
We might not be able to monitor the lake 24/7, but at least now people have been warned.
I thought I was a
Thanks
little
for
high
taking
for
care of
heart.
that. It's such a strange feeling to be publicizing the very issue that is hurting us at the moment. I know it's the responsible thing to do, but it still feels slightly like self-sabotage. Our summer season has already started, and normally this whole area would be covered with hikers. I've only seen a handful of people in the reserve recently. I'm sure that things will pick up eventually. But every day, I'm reminded that my dad was the major driving force behind this place. It's just bad timing, I suppose. We'd had some other issues with one of the board members, but that's in the past. The best thing to do is to keep pushing forward. I've got some big plans to help turn things around. Who knows? Maybe we'll have this place at full strength by the time my dad gets back in the saddle.
Oh, the dad's not dead? I thought they were like kind of implying the dad died of poison or something.
I'm talking a lot about family stuff, aren't I?
Yes.
I suppose work and family are the same thing for me, you know? I've been watching my dad do this job since I was a kid. Let's change the subject, shall we?
Okay.
I've got a job that I'd like you to take care of. The big plans I mentioned before.
They sure didn't go away very far, did they?
Project of mine.
Oh, nice gold. Yep, we got that heart.
Repelling gear, actually.
Right the fuck
I
into
have
it.
stashed a few bags at one of the nearby outposts.
And
I'd
you're
like you to head
gone.
over there and pick them up when you can.
Love it.
I've been doing adventure sports for about 10 years or so now. It started with bouldering and rock climbing while I was on a high school trip. Last year, I got an accreditation as an instructor, and I was planning on teaching classes. When my dad got ill, I put it on the back burner. But now, I think we have a good opportunity to commit to it. The gear is in here. I packed it into a couple of backpacks. It shouldn't be too heavy. Unfortunately, I'm a little too busy to teach classes just now. But one of my base jumping friends, Sammy, took the same course as me, so she's gonna lead the class instead.
I always wanted to do that thing where you jump off the mountain with like the squirrel suit. But you know, you get older and you start realizing that your wife doesn't want you to die.
There's a good rock face nearby that Sammy can use
But
to
if
teach her
I ever
beginners.
end up single, I'm gonna do a squirrel suit.
If I recall
It looks so
correctly,
fun.
you also have some mountain climbing experience. I get it. Those mountain goats aren't easy to catch. There's some good anchoring points at the top of the rock face. If you can get those ropes nice and secure, it'll save Sammy some time and help the class.
Yeah, the one that has like the kind of wing between the leg and arm area, and you just kind of hold it out and try not to smash yourself into the side of a cliff. Yeah, that's the one. Who left fur in the woods? Let's see. Very old light gray fur. Guessing whoever left these tracks. Black bear. Well, black bears don't have light gray fur. I guess it's not whoever left those tracks. See if I can get up here. Kind of looks like there might be a road or something. Yep. I wouldn't mind a shot at a black bear. In order to get up there, I guess I have to go up here. Just kind of hug the edge.
Truth be told, I've wanted to start an extreme sports group here for a long time, but the old chairman of the board pushed back against anything that wasn't hunting. He was very old-fashioned, though. The patriarch of the Simpkins Electronics Empire. He even forced his vegan animal rights activist son, Timothy, to come with him on hunting trips to Africa. Accused the activist of brainwashing his son.
I mean, you could be vegan and still hunt.
Dropped quite dramatically when my dad caught Timothy drinking and dealing drugs inside the
One of my
reserve.
fishing buddies is a lifetime vegetarian.
Simpkins actually used
Just
his
does catch
power
and
on the board
release.
to keep my dad quiet. But the next time my dad caught Tim in the reserve, he wasn't just dealing drugs. He had been poaching. Dad called it in without even telling Simpkins Sr. Of course, he was furious. Tried to get my dad fired, actually. But all credit to the board. They stuck with my old man. All these changes I want to make will hopefully account for the loss of the Simpkins' money and influence. This is just a start, too. I'm proposing snowboarding and extreme skiing for the winter.
Oh man, this guy's
I've
gonna
got some
ruin the
friends who
park.
I'd love to invite over to shoot some videos. Could be fun, don't you think? That looks
No.
great.
I don't
God,
support
could've
this
done
guy
a better
anymore.
job myself. Don't let the ropes down. We don't need them getting all tangled up. Anyway, if the rappelling goes well and makes a little money, I think the old folks on the board will start to come around. I really appreciate your help with this one. It's been an uphill battle to get to
Where's
this
my
point,
dog down
and
there?
I'm disappointed that I can't be there to run the classes myself. If I'm being honest, I have a lot invested in the classes going well. There's still some people on the board who are friends with the old chairman, and it seems pretty clear that they don't like me proposing new ideas. Anyway, I'll let Sammy know that we're good to go. I trust her to take care of it.
It's just the one pronghorn? Kind of tempted.
Hey, so listen, there might be a situation going on at the moment, and I could really use your help to check it out.
Now to get down the hill without
It's
dying.
not just gold and silver mining that took place out here. Even more recently, there was a working uranium mine in the area.
Wow,
When the reserve was
uranium.
established, we took
Maybe that's why your
responsibility
dad's
for keeping
sick.
it safe.
He's
Anyway,
got cancer.
the old uranium mine is very rarely a problem. But recently, it appears that one of our neighbors, a guy I went to school with actually, has been spotted camping out around the mine. His name's Bobby Joe Jefferson.
Oh, that's one of those serial killer names.
Driving his quad bike around and setting up little shooting ranges with tin cans. He makes the deer and turkeys extra skittish, so the hunters hate him. Can you head over to the mine and see what's going on? He's allowed to hike and camp there, but I don't want him going anywhere near the entrance itself.
Okay, I'll head right over. Gotta pick up this pronghorn. It was not a particularly great pronghorn, a little baby pronghorn. Let's see, where's it at? Where's it at? Alright, dog, do your job. I lost track of him. Couldn't have gone far. went further than I thought. It's definitely down, though. There's a body. Parkour! Alright, good little silver. One lung. Mm. Ah, he's pretty far away. Alright, let's see. Gonna head up and then south to get to the next mission point. We've gotta go investigate Bobby Joe Duke Ellington, whatever his name was. I mean, if there's a uranium mine around, I'm not gonna, like, try to camp out there. This sounds like a bad idea. Gotta love Elk Bugle. Lone Island Lake. Am I about to hit a cliff? Nah, it doesn't look like it gets all that steep. If I'm reading the topography correctly. Whoa. Let's see, anything to look at before I slide down the hill? Oh! Well, that didn't work. I was like just walking down the hill. I think I found like a doom voxel. Alright, let's try this again. Maybe this time we'll head up from the south. Hey, we know there's no animals from the north coming down. Might as well check the south. Yeah, that was just like an instant death while taking a short step. Oh, see, this actually looks like it might be harder to climb. Well, I guess we'll find out. Doesn't look any steeper than the other part. I think this is actually that guy's tent from the mission, but like we haven't gotten to that part of the mission yet. Yeah, it's definitely a mission tent. Like, it's gonna be like, oh, go pick up that book that's laying there. Oh, well, gotta do them in order. It's not Skyrim.
First things first, let's make sure that the mine itself is still secure.
Okay.
A trail camera? I've used these for work and for hunting before. This one shouldn't be here, though. We don't want hunters so close to the mine. Grab the camera. Another trail camera. Bobby Joe doesn't have a permit to hunt here. Is he poaching? This looks intact, at least. That's gotta be a good sign. Hopefully that's the last one. Pick him up and I'll put him in our lost and found when I can take him from you.
Well, it definitely
I don't
looks
really
secure.
understand what's going on with the cameras, but at least the entrance is secure. Let's go find his camp, shall we?
Oh, the camp right down the hill where I went.
It was actually Remy that called this one in. He doesn't know who Bobby Joe is, but I knew who it was.
What a
Remy
shocker.
described him. That looks like his camp. Any sign of him?
Well, there's the notebook we're gonna go pick up. No, not the notebook. Oh my gosh. We're gonna pick up some ammo,
Rifle cartridges.
a thermos,
That's not good news.
and some binoculars.
Snacks. Not enough to last a long trip, though.
And now the book.
Binoculars. Maybe he was hunting. I'm seeing a pretty worrying pattern here. Take a look in the tent. A journal. Maybe this'll show us why he's out here.
Let's see. Thursday. Definitely more signs of activity around the disused mine. Footprints and some damage to the mine entrance. Decided to camp out by the mine. No activity tonight. Sunday. Truck just moved most of the way in towards the mine. Black with tinted windows. Government agents. Later on Sunday. Followed the truck to the edge of Silver Ridge. Even later on Sunday. If the government have kept the mine going in secret, what else could they be hiding down there? More Scooby-Doo.
That's our sign. Pick it up, would you?
Okay.
Secret uranium mining. Government conspiracy? I'll be honest. I never credited Bobby Joe with this much imagination in high school. Replant the sign, and we're done here for now.
I mean, if he's right, he's right.
You know what makes this extra weird? He actually has done some detective work. Enough to convince himself to camp here.
I mean, if you got them on trail cam, and I just picked up the trail cams, couldn't we just, like, verify it right here and now? Go to the mine, go to the camp, go back to the mine. Getting my steps in.
signs back up? Great. This mine has never been a problem before, but let's not take any chances. Me and my dad have been dealing with Bobby Joe for years, but this is new. I know he's a nuisance, but I always felt sorry for him. He had a pretty tough upbringing. I don't want to call the police, but I have to. He's armed and known for making poor choices.
Police are gonna come take out Bobby Joe. An ill-advised retreat.
It would appear that it's not just the neighbors that are making questionable calls today. Sometimes folks from the city will drive out here to get away from work or their personal lives or whatever happens to be bothering them. The problem is that sometimes, quite often actually, people wander into the wilderness without a clue of how to survive if things go wrong. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. And based on a couple of phone calls I've had from the hospital today, I think that someone has made a mess and could use some help.
Oh no.
I was going to check in on them myself, but I need to coordinate with the police on this Bobby Joe thing, and you're already really close by. Can you head over to the campgrounds nearby and check in on them? The phone calls were sporadic at best.
Yeah, it's pretty
As far as
close.
I can tell, this professional yoga and meditation expert has led a group of accountants from Denver into the wilderness on some sort of spiritual retreat. She took their cell phones away from them and had them eating wild flowers and berries. Some of them got sick and have gone directly to the hospital. I know that we're not the reason why this happened, but it could look very bad for us if anyone gets seriously hurt. I'd appreciate if you'd hustle and check it out.
And she's like giving him peyote, putting him in a sweat lodge. Mule deer was already running. Eh. We'll just keep moving. I'm hoping to see a good mule deer. Although to be fair, I'm hoping to see a good anything, you know. Be super nice to find something really cool. Yeah, this map actually has some really cool stuff on it. Like it's got train tracks and stuff. Oh, speaking of, that's a pretty good elk. That's like a really good elk. That should be enough. And it's down. want to hunt an elk in real life. They've got them in my state, and I enter the lottery for it every year. They don't pick a whole lot of people. You know, they got a few thousand elk. They tend to pick like 5 or 6 people a year who get to hunt an elk. But we shall see. One of these days. I think I see it. Yep, there it is. Ooh, nice gold. Look at that rack. It's a hell of a lot of rack. Straight across the one lung, and then straight across both lungs. Very good, very good. Alright, we're almost there. Let's find these dead hikers.
That's weird. I expected a lot more activity here. They said they were bringing 20 people. Where is everyone?
Dead.
Is the leader in her tent? She goes by Jem. Jem Bodden. Can you hear the
There's
phones ring?
always someone named Bodden.
I guess we know where she hid them then. She's expecting the others to meet her at the top of a mountain? Which one? This is an absolute disaster. A bunch of poisoned accountants and a lone woman climbing a non-specific mountain. Next time someone tries to run a retreat out here, I'm gonna make them hire a professional guide. The accountants have left. I'm going to send someone to make sure they got back to their cars safely. This is exactly the sort of thing I find myself fighting uphill against. It's hard to get going when stuff like this keeps... Okay, first things first. We need to figure out where Bodden's gone. I'll try to reach some of the accountants back at the hospital. Maybe they can help.
I choose to believe it's the same Bodden on all the maps.
She hasn't packed hiking boots or proper equipment for a climb. Maybe she'll turn back soon. I'll let you know if I hear anything, okay?
Like the same one was eaten by the chupacabra and like died in the wilderness on the tundra map. It's all the same person. Alright, guy, give me my next mission.
Today continues to
There
throw
it
up
is.
challenges for us. I have another job for you, and this one is urgent. we received a call from one of our neighbors, Norman, asking if we'd seen his dad, a longtime friend of the reserve. Apparently he's gone missing and he's taken all the family camping supplies with him.
I don't think that's
Around the
missing. I
same
think that's just
time,
called going
two
camping.
hikers reported to us that they spotted a single old man laden down with gear, heading into a part of the reserve that is known for its bears. When they asked him if he needed any help, he politely declined and kept walking. Their description matches old Ted perfectly. Short white hair, green rain slicker, and brown leather boots. No gun.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to get a hold of Norman, but he said that he'd make some more calls just in case Teddy's gone to visit friends. I'm just getting his voicemail at the moment. While I sort this out, can you head over to where the hikers saw him and try to follow old Teddy's trail?
Sure.
He knows his way around here, so I have no idea why he'd wander into bear country.
Maybe he's gotten a little senile. Alright, we'll jump to this fast travel point and then head south. Mountain goats. Hey, Foxy. How's it going? The bear grind is real. I can never commit to a good grind. I tried grinding moose on the was it taiga? Gave up after probably 100. I'll have my fingers crossed for you. I forget, which map are you doing that on? Is it Silver Ridge or is it one of the other ones? Four Lakes on Silver Ridge. So will the bear, it sounds like you know what you're doing when you're talking about grinding, so I'm assuming the bear isn't your first great one? Oh, it will be the first one. Fingers extra crossed. All right, almost to Ted's trail. Crazy old Ted. Probably dead Ted.
That's the place. You found where the hikers spotted him. That's good news. Listen, I got a hold of Norman and he's on his way out here. But he's a couple of hours drive away. I told him that we were looking for his dad. Norman's really worried. He thinks that Ted has had a breakdown. Ted's wife, Jeannie, died a couple of weeks ago. And since the funeral, Ted hasn't
If
been
you're gonna do the
himself.
missions,
The
for the
family were giving
storyline,
him as
I
much
would
space
suggest
as they could.
skipping the first
But
two,
now they're
Leighton
worried
and
that he's fully
Hirschfeld.
isolated himself and he's made
Their
some
missions
bad
aren't
decisions
really
that have led him
storyline
here.
related.
Norman took a trip to visit him.
They're just
But
all
when he
like side
arrived,
missions.
Ted was gone, and so was his car. Norman remembers his dad saying that he proposed to Jeannie during a trip to Silver Ridge Peaks 45 years ago. That whole region is a beautiful valley, but nobody goes out there unarmed while the bears are roaming around. It might be a long shot, but can you gear up with whatever you need and head into bear country as soon as possible?
Bear Country sounds
If
great.
Ted's looking for where he proposed almost a half a century ago, I just hope he finds it before the bears find him. I'll mark the beauty spot on your GPS. Be careful in those parts. Keep your rifle handy at all times.
Yeah, I've been loving the storyline missions though. I mean, they're all kind of Scooby-Doo. There's a lot of similarities between the maps, but it is fun. And then once I get all the main missions done, I'm probably going to do another pass through for side missions. That might take a lot longer. It's like one of the side missions on, I think it was Yukon Valley, was just like get a diamond of every species on the map. I was like, okay, well that's definitely going to take a minute. I think we'll follow this trail. Let's see, where's this going? Oh, this trail's not even on the map. Hidden trail. Oh yeah, the kangaroo one. I think I saw that. It's gonna be a doozy. Spotted a wee goat. One thing I really liked on Emerald was actually, come to think of it, the goats with their huge horns, like the big spiral ones, especially the like the diamond had. Great, great animal model. What have we here? Like a busted tent with some snow on it. Not sure where the snow came from.
This place has been torn apart. There's no blood, no body. He's left his pack here, though. He must be traveling light, but we can't wait for him to come back to camp. The bear could still be around.
Oh, I'm guessing the bear's around.
This is the beauty spot. But he's gone.
Well, that would be the bear.
There's no sign of an encounter. But look, Ted was definitely here.
What am I looking at? Ooh, we got a note.
Ted and Jeannie, 1978.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I can't even imagine what's going through his head at the moment.
Bear teeth.
My dad and I used to talk about men who would seek their solace in nature.
Yeah, I did
He
Taiga a
told me
couple
that if
days
he
ago.
didn't have my mom or me
Very
around,
fun. Ended with
he'd
the,
actually have just started living out here.
I don't want to spoil it, but it ended with a really good
I
hunt.
didn't believe him at first, but as I've grown older, it makes more sense to me. He's running from the pain.
And hello,
he's
YouTube
feeling.
chat, Arizona. Welcome, welcome.
Out there, he doesn't need to think about anyone or anything else. He can just be alone. Norman will be here soon. I told him that his visit will include a trip to bear country, so he's got a rifle to protect himself. I'll point him to his dad's old camp for now. It makes most sense for that to be where Ted will come back to whenever he's ready. There's no tracks for you to follow, and while I don't like the idea of him wandering around, Ted clearly wants to be alone out here.
Yeah, the dead bodies were kind of creepy on that one. Or like the Africa map when you just hear all the people screaming and the gunshots. You just get there and just a bunch of torn up clothes. Alright, so what is this guy's mission? Out of her comfort
I might have
zone.
a lead on our missing yoga instructor. Sammy was driving home after the rappelling lesson, and she heard something that could be Miss Bodden. She had pulled over to look under the hood of her car, and she swears she heard a scream from the woods nearby. And I asked her if it could have been an animal noise, but she seemed pretty insistent that it was a woman's scream. I know it's nothing solid to go on, but it could be what leads us to her. Can you check it out? I'll mark the spot on your GPS.
Let's see, how far away is this? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's probably as easy to walk here. No, you know what? It would probably be easier to go along the road. That way I can just take the ATV. Oop. One of the side effects of resetting my mission file is that although I can still seem to travel to all the points I previously unlocked, I can still recollect them and have to before I can use the cash at them. Kind of a weird game. Hey, there's a bear. I might have wanted to take that road. Oh well. All-terrain vehicle. Oh! The dodged deer.
I don't need to remind you. This is bear country. Sure, they're normally quick to turn tail and run, but they're extremely aggressive if their cubs are nearby. It's time for maximum caution. Can you hear that? It's like a horn or something.
This lady's blowing her safety whistle. Sounds like it's over here.
There, on the
Oh,
ground.
well, that's not good.
An air horn app. I've heard of people trying to scare away bears and cougars with real-life air horns. Personally, I've never really trusted using sound to scare off a bear. Not permanently, at least. Well, that's the contact number I had for her. Cell phone service can be really poor out there, though. Still, she was here. Check out the bear markings on that tree. There's no sign of her, is there? If she tried to
Nope.
hide from a bear up a tree, she found out pretty fast that bears are great climbers. Maybe she threw the water bottle in her phone to give herself a chance to escape. Are there any more clues? A bear. Be careful.
What? Where? How does he see the bear? Oh, there's the bear.
I'm sorry to send you in there, my friend. I know you can handle a black bear.
So
but
long,
that doesn't make it
Yogi.
okay. Dad would never have put his people in this
That's pretty
position.
alright.
I have to be smarter. It just seems like every problem lands at once, you know? I'm trying to improve the reserve, but things keep getting in the way. Look, I'm really grateful that you've been able to help me out. If it had been me out there, things could have gone a lot worse. The important thing is Baden's safety, right? Are there any signs of where she went?
Alright, investigate the area 1 of 2. Let's see, are these tracks her? Yep.
Those look like fresh footprints. She made it out of there, heading west. Still, now she has no phone and no water bottle. Let me look at the map and I'll come up with a game plan.
She probably headed up to the rail tracks there. Let's see what he suggests. Oh, what's this?
Looks like someone forgot their bear deterrent. Mind you, if you're caught unaware, it might not help. I'll never forget the time I was hunting elk
Whose
with a group
voice
of
is
friends,
that?
and a 1,200-pound grizzly came in hot from 30 yards out.
Okay, got it. Not
This is
far
some
from where
random
you
guy.
are, we have the old funicular railway.
Some of us had bear spray, but the wind was too strong to use it. The only reason we made it out alive is because the bear got confused when all 6 of us split up. It was like something out of a movie.
It's pretty big, and it's a tourist attraction. If Baden
It's
sees it,
alternating
maybe
lines
she'll head
between the
towards it to
mission
look
and
for
this
help.
random other thing.
At the bottom of the track, there's an old shed that she could try to shelter close to. It's not much, but it's a start. Given how badly things have gone for her so far, I can only hope that she's not still planning to climb a mountain. I'm going to give the accountants another call at the hospital. See if they can't help us work out where her head is at.
Alright, let's see here. 0.7 miles. Alright. Yeah, okay. We just jump to this spot. That seems to be on the other side of that cliff. How am I gonna get up there? Yeah, it looks like the shadowing on the map ends a little bit west of here. So I guess we'll go that way. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. Find the funicular shed. It's a funny word. Although this railroad cut through in the mountain was one of my favorite spots to hunt here before, because it just ends up being like an animal funnel sometimes. We made
What the hell has
it.
happened here? It looks like the bears have been using the shed as a latrine and a scratching post.
Ew.
I'm meant to be taking a potential investor to tour the reserve this week. She cannot see this.
It's actually not that bad. He's
Bonnie's not
overreacting.
here. There's no sign of her. And I still can't
Well,
get through to the accountants.
Maybe.
They've left the hospital and don't have their cell phones.
That one corner looked a little
Can
shitty.
you put the shed back together and tidy things up a bit? I hate to do this, but there's no way I'm gonna make it out there before the tour.
Am I picking up, like, invisible poo? It's, like, under the floor.
It might be from a bear, but why would they come here? I don't
There
see
we go.
bears tearing that off. Thanks. It's probably still gonna smell pretty bad, but at least it's not covered in bear scat. Bears tend to stay away from humans, and we never kept anything that would attract them inside that shed. Are there any tracks nearby? The place looked fine when I was here last week.
Tracks, he says. Maybe at this quest marker there will be tracks.
That's unexpected. The public don't tend to drive to the funicular, and if it was one of the staff, they'd use quad bikes. This looks like it was left by a car or a truck. I think someone has vandalized our property. It doesn't make a lot of sense, though. Why would anyone come all the way out here to do this? Maybe bored teenagers? I pulled some stupid pranks when I was young, but none involved ferrying around a bunch of bear scat. Given that this has happened to the shed, I'm a little worried about the railway itself. It's a unique tourist site, over 100 years old. It leads all the way up to Prosperity, the reserve's ghost town. It used to be home to the miners who came out here during the Silver Rush. I think it's a little creepy, but tourists like it. Would you check the track out, please? I would feel a lot better knowing it's okay.
Alright. Check out the track. Oh, okay, we're going all the way up. I guess it makes sense. He was just talking about a ghost town at the top, so it would be logical that he would then send us to the top. Choo-choo. It's a long way up. Wow, no animals walking around the tracks. Let's see what we got at the midpoint. Give me that lore
What?
update.
What's going on with the rail?
That seems like a lot of work to bust that rail.
Torn up? As in removed? How did they even...
Those things are heavy.
It's just been ripped out of the ground. Gone. This would have taken a crew and equipment. This isn't teenagers with too much time on their hands. This is the
Hey, there's a
sabotage
goat.
of one of our irreplaceable attractions. I need some pictures. I'm gonna send them to the police.
Alright,
I'm on hold with the sheriff's office.
there we go.
Then I think I need to call my dad. Since it appears that someone is trying to sabotage the reserve, I need you... Hello? Yes, Sheriff Cole, please. I need you to head up to the ghost town and see if they've done any damage there. I'll check in later. Jerry,
I know, right?
Hey, thanks for picking up so fast.
Although, really, who comes like miles into the middle of nowhere just to steal a railroad bar? It seems like a lot of work. And it's not like the railroad's going to go down the tracks or anything. 1 mile. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead. That'll save us about half that distance at least. Maybe grab the ATV for the rest of the track up. The earlier part of this quest, he was like telling on drug dealers too. Like, this guy definitely snitches, no fun allowed. Can't vandalize stuff, can't sell drugs. Can't go in the uranium mine, can't swim in the contaminated lake.
I spoke with the sheriff. He's as confused as I am. But he's gonna send someone over to take a look. Let me know when you get to the ghost town. I've got a heavy feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Yo,
They've been here as well. Damn it!
a dead mountain lion.
They've gone from vandals to poachers and mindless animal killers.
What is this?
This is
Another
escalating
dead
so quickly.
mountain lion.
Who would possibly want to do this? Some disgruntled former staff member? My dad and I haven't had any trouble with any of our staff, past or present. Can you take a look around?
Alright, now I
I
support
want
the
to know
snitching.
just how much damage these guys have done. If you find an animal, take a picture and send it
Oh.
my way, please.
Okay, there's that picture. Yeah. How about this picture?
I'll save this for the police. Thanks.
Am I supposed to find any more? Kind of looks like yes. Something up here? Oh, there's another one. It's all the mountain lions, man.
Good work.
There we go.
Got it.
Still? So wait, it wanted me to shoot the one in the road first, the picture. Then the one up the road a long ways. And then come back to the middle. Maybe? Not even anything here. I'm going to take a picture of nothing being here and we'll see if it gives me credit. Take a picture in here. It's saying there's something on the ground right here, but I don't know. Let's go back and take a picture of this one it didn't give me credit for earlier.
A third.
There you go. And then southwest. Again, it leads me to this spot right here for some reason. Maybe I should just ignore that marker and focus on actually things I see. Are there any more carcasses? Oh, there's a carcass.
Another one? How long did this take them, I wonder?
And I don't think I got this one yet either.
Is that the last of them?
There it is.
Hopefully this is the only place. Was that a door opening? Are they still here? Be careful. We know they're armed.
Don't worry, buddy, so am I. Ooh. Alright, can't shoot the gasoline. My video game logic failed me. Oh, I don't know if I want to go in there. Sounds like Deliverance. I can't even get in. What's going on? What? Or is it in the little shed? It's in the little shed.
What's that sound?
End hunting now.
End hunting now. What? Is this some kind of activist? I don't buy it. Take a picture of the text and send it over.
So, a lot of items in the game are actually bugged. I'm going to see if this is one of them. Nope. Some items in the game like will randomly bleed when you shoot them.
Animals dying. I know we hunt animals, but making a quick, clean kill is paramount for us. Got the photograph. I'll save it with the others. How the hell has this happened? How did we go from thinking this was kids being a nuisance to armed poachers killing and torturing animals? This was something else. Needless cruelty. All to send us a message. The deputy sheriff is on her way over now. Listen, I don't think it's best for you to be chasing these people down now. They're armed, and they don't seem to care much for ethics or responsibility. I'd like you to get out of there, and the police will take over.
Spooky. Alright, we got some mountain lion killers up in here.
There is actually one place where it's hopefully safe to send you, where you might find something that can help us. These people seem to know exactly how to hurt us. They've targeted our unique tourist spots and our animals. There's a fossil excavation site that I was planning to show our investor as well. It's abandoned just now as the college ran out of funding for the dig last year, but we've been keeping it safe for when they come back. It's basically just a shed and a hole, but it represents a good opportunity to interact with the local community.
It's kind of a
and
mixed
college.
message, yeah.
Tourists don't go there, but it's a big part of raising the reserve's profile in a way that doesn't involve hunting. Can you head over there and make sure everything is still locked up and secure? It's not good for our reputation if we can't protect a tiny dig site.
Alright. Yeah, it's good. It's near a fast travel point. Always appreciated. Yeah, it's like some PETA nonsense. Ooh. Wait, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to check the animal call. Got some turkey. Pretty sure I heard an elk. It was probably already running though, because I fast traveled. We'll just proceed on mission.
update for you. Since the sheriff's office are all discussing what's been going on up here, it turns out that they've been sharing notes. One of the deputies actually pulled over a truck, just outside the reserve. The truck was hauling a short chunk of rail track and 2 big heavy railway sleepers.
Oh, that's my guy.
Turns out the driver runs some kind of historical museum out in Arizona. He claims someone called Mr. Green reached out to him and offered him a chance to take home some historic railroad. The driver was confused, but was keen to grab a piece of Gold Rush history, so he drove out to retrieve a piece yesterday. Said that he and his son had to cut it out with a saw and lift it with a crane. He had receipts for the whole plant
Oh, one and
rental
done.
everything. Obviously, we had nothing to do with this exchange, so the question becomes, who on earth is Mr. Green? The cops were going to ask me about it, but the guy was adamant that it had all been signed off by this Mr. Green. They just tried calling his number, and it's not recognized. They're going to get in touch with the truck driver and get back to me.
Let's see how this sheep turned out. Oh yeah, that got the royal assortment. Through the upper hip, just enough to nick into the lung. Alright. So Mr. Green is tricking people into effing up our shit. Yeah, it's just another bighorn.
You're nearly there. It's not much, but you'll recognize it when you see it.
Alright, let's see these fossils. What do you got?
Okay, so at least the site itself hasn't been touched. What about the tool shed? They left an inventory, but there wasn't much in there. Just some digging tools and a rock saw. I knew it. Of course they've been here as well. They've taken something. The rock saw is missing. I looked them up and they're like $500 brand new. This one was used and old. I doubt it's worth much. It was pretty heavy too. Have a look around. I wonder if they drove up here to get it.
Got some tracks.
Gotcha. Okay. So they're in a car or truck and they've been here recently. I've got a plan, but we're gonna need to act fast. Grab a photo of those tracks and send it to me. I'm gonna round up some of my friends. Stay on the line.
There we go. Sawbones, mission complete. Photograph footprints and tire tracks. I don't think I saw the tire tracks. Is that what this is over here?
Okay.
Oh,
So we're
that's a
going to
turkey.
lock down the barricades for all of our roads. Nothing gets in or out. I've rounded up a few people to help, but I've got a gate I need you to lock up. First thing you'll need to do is grab a padlock. I keep one in the closest lookout tower to the gate. Once you're inside, look for a locker.
I'm guessing it's gonna be that one? Yep, that one. Head up the valley and then cut over hard to the left. Actually, it looks like it'd be faster to do this side. We'll go this way. Yeah, this one's a little more sinister. People are actually like vandalizing stuff and torturing animals. There was one where it was just like some serious Scooby-Doo. There It's like, oh, they're trying to make a land deal. That train looks kind of rough. Swing just a little bit wider. So I think overall the best storyline I've run into so far probably actually be the Parque Fernando one, because the lady who's running it, like, she talks about how she was an Olympic marksman and she acts like all kinds of crazy sketchy. And she talks about, oh, there was this guy who was trying to like get the place shut down, but then he just like, oh, he got accidentally shot in the heart with a rifle, and they never did find the shooter. Haha, totally wasn't me. And then she's like having you like smuggle cash and stuff out of there.
Tower you need to check inside. Let me know when you've grabbed the padlock.
Highly recommend Parque Fernando.
You've got the
There we go.
padlock? Okay. Your GPS will show you where to find the right gate. We're almost there. The other roads are all locked down. Just your gate left to close. One of my friends says he arrived at his gate just as a truck was leaving. He recorded the license plate, though. The deputy's gonna take a look.
Well, the extra funny thing about the lady after she says she totally didn't shoot the guy is she gives you a mission to go to a spot and take a shot on a target that was set up where he was standing, just to see if you could have made the shot that killed him. Yeah, I got this like low-key mafia vibe from her the whole time. Like some of the last missions are like, hey, go pick up my stash of cash. It's like just hidden in the woods and take it down to the docks. Does that say something? No, it does not. Alright, time to close the park.
That's the gate. Close it and lock it shut. Great work. If the criminals are still inside the reserve, they're gonna need to go off-road to escape. I feel better. The police are working with us now, and we have taken steps to get things back on track. The deputies share my suspicions about this being the work of animal rights activists. Sure, we get the odd email from time to time. A few years ago, my
Where's
dad
the dog
narrowly
going?
avoided having red paint thrown all over him by someone who had come looking for trouble.
Dog?
There's a group called the Activists for the Protection of Animal Rights, APAR. They've sent us some letters in the past.
I think the dog's clipping is getting messed up.
On that front recently. And if you want to target why us, we're not high profile. Until recently, that was my biggest problem. Plus, the sounds on that tape will be with me for a while. I don't think the person who recorded them is likely to be sensitive to animal rights. One thing I do know is that this lockdown is going to hurt us. People will talk. And I know that there are people on the board who are already considering replacing me.
Mission completed. Lock it down.
I do have better news, though. One of the accountants got back to me about this meditation mountain that Baden was going to climb. She's ambitious, I'll give her that. She set her sights on one of our taller mountains, Mount Ursula. The police are in charge, so we have to take the back seat for a while. In the meantime, I'd like you to have another shot at finding Baden. She must be in a pretty rough state by now.
Mount Ursula. Alright. Can you give me a waypoint there, buddy? Okay. Alright. And a mountain climbing we shall go to the top of Mount Ursula. Nope, wrong button. I think I'll go this way. See if we can't run into Mrs. Bear. Nope, she's heading down. Yeah, might get a shot. Oh, ragdoll. You thought that was in your game. Getting hopeful, huh? Ooh, was that another bear? It is another bear. Don't really have a shot on it, though. Nice little silver bear.
I got a short chance to speak to my dad about all this. He told me that while he always has my back, he plans to retire permanently from the warden position. He doesn't know what he's gonna do next, but he feels that his health problems stop him from doing the job properly. If I'm being honest, I always counted on him coming back. I told him that I felt like I was just keeping his seat warm. I think we both knew that his recovery was going too slowly for this to be a short-term thing. He seems confident that we've got this situation covered. More confident than I am, actually. We just need to keep pushing on. Let's find Baden and bring her home safely.
I don't think we're going to get Baden home safely. Like, all the DLC maps have had someone named Baden, and they generally don't survive. Like the Sean Bean of Call of the Wild. Mountain lion. Ooh. Probably not going to get a shot unless it ran long. Yeah, no clue which direction it headed. Alright, so where is this lady? I got to the checkpoint. That's some tracks. Are these human tracks? They're barefoot human tracks.
Footprints.
So now she's barefoot up on
Look.
top of the mountain.
That's definitely her gear. There's a yoga mat and everything. Is that a journal? Normally I wouldn't recommend this, but maybe we should see if she's written anything that can help.
Ah, found one. So that yoga mat is apparently alive and bleeds when you shoot it. A very common bug in this game. Let's see about the backpack. Nope, backpack doesn't have clipping at all. The notebook, I don't know what the hell happened there.
That's a lot to take in.
Oh, wow, that is a lot
Did
of
she
text.
say she heard noises from the tree line? Let's check it out. I'll be honest, I'm really worried about her now.
The sounds from the trees have only gotten louder, she says. Yeah, that's probably not good. Alright, so we're going to follow her tracks, I think.
Those tracks are headed straight for where she was.
Uh-oh. I think she may have been eaten by a bear.
The police are in charge, so we have to take the back seat for a while.
There's the human
Meantime,
tracks.
I'd like you to have another shot at finding Baden. She must be in a pretty rough state by
Game
now.
bug. He's duplicating dialogue. Alright, let's see. I can follow these tracks, but I can't actually select them as live for what I'm tracking. Ooh, a blood splatter.
I can't believe it. We
Look.
followed. We were so close. I need to tell the police. I should... Okay, first things first. I need to get it together. How you doing? Are you okay?
Yep.
I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this firsthand.
This is like the 5th time Baden's
I
died for
need
me.
to deal with this, but there hasn't been a death in the reserve for almost a decade. I'm gonna call my dad, so he can talk me through the next steps. Before I start making arrangements, there's something I'd like you to do for me, if you think you're up to it.
Sure thing, buddy.
In her journal, Baden mentions winning the trip out here. In all this drama, I forgot that she wasn't just here with the retreat. She was planning on staying a little longer at one of our outposts. There was something strange about the booking. I'm gonna make some calls now, but I'd like you to go to the outpost she was going to stay at. I have an uneasy feeling about why she was here. I can't quite explain it, but I don't think it was her idea to come here.
Jinkies.
Hey, got an update for you. I was speaking with the deputy about Bodden, and she's gonna send an officer up to secure the scene, take pictures, etc. Do you remember the truck that we spotted leaving the reserve just before we locked it down? Well, the deputy had some news. Turns out that the truck was stolen from a college campus in Denver just a couple of weeks ago. It gets stranger. The sheriff just got a call from a patrolman in the next county over. The truck has been found on fire, abandoned in the middle of nowhere. It was an anonymous tip-off. I'm not an expert, but I bet that truck was the escape vehicle for our culprits. I'll let you know if the police find anything new.
Now, let's see what you left inside the cabin.
I need you to look for any signs that she came here with an agenda that might tie into the problems we're having. Be respectful, though. Didn't we already find Bodden's phone in the woods?
Yes, we did.
Ghost town and dig site? No. I don't believe it. Her luggage. I guess it's just clothes and things. No need to open it up. That's the gear from the dig site, isn't it? Look, there's the rock saw. Did they take the blade off for safety, maybe?
If you shoot the soda
There's a
can,
rifle
will
in
it
there,
explode?
No
High caffeine
hunter's leaving
content.
something like that lying around.
No, it has no
I'll be
clipping.
honest with you. I'm struggling to keep myself under control. Not only has someone been terrorizing the reserve, but they plan to pin it on someone else. You know, my dad said that there's a spiritual reason for what's going on. What I believe is that people have tried to hurt us, and the innocents are getting caught in the middle. And the worst thing is that I have no idea who's behind it.
Don't worry, we'll get them.
Composure. That's what we need now, right? We got a response from APAR. They are denying all connections to what's happening here. They say that, while they have sadly been forced to euthanize animals in the past, none of their operations would ever condone the sorts of animal mistreatment that were reported. This never seemed like their MO to begin with. They kill shelter animals because they feel it's more humane than the alternative. They don't come out here to do it. Oh, and to make things even worse, I keep getting voicemails from Bobby Joe Jefferson asking me to call him back.
Maybe call him
We
back?
were able to trace the payment for Bodden's accommodation. You ready for this? It came from a Green Enterprises. The company was dissolved 3 days ago. Seems like the person behind Bodden's choice to come here was also the one who gave the go-ahead to rip up our railway. That's it. I've had enough from Bobby Joe. I'm gonna call him back and tell him that it's not the time. Give me a minute.
I wonder if Bobby Joe's gonna have a clue.
I have a job for you. I'm sending you details of a spot I want you to visit, but I need to deal with something just now. I'll call you back once I'm done.
2.53 miles. Alright, we're definitely fast traveling. Looks like we'll fast travel, then head down the road.
can't believe I'm about to say this, but Bobby Joe may have solved the case.
Oh,
Do you recall the uranium mine that he was camped beside? It
yes.
turns out that he was camping there because he was convinced that it was hosting some government conspiracy. Well, it turns out that someone had been up to visit the site on more than one occasion. The last time they visited, they came with a truck. Bobby was suspicious, so he tailed the truck as it moved around the
So
reserve.
this is another Jinkies,
Just
it
before
sounds
they
like.
left
They're
the
trying to get
reserve,
like a mine
Bobby
deal.
lost sight of it as it disappeared into the woods.
Oh, hey, Cracked, how you doing, man?
Before Bobby could figure out where it had gone, the truck returned to the road and drove out of the reserve. Bobby kept tailing them. Once they were out of the county, the driver jumped out, grabbed a jerry can from the back, and doused the truck in gasoline before setting it on fire.
I
Bobby
can't complain,
swears
I'm
to me
doing
that the guy
fine.
who got out of the truck is William Simpkins Jr.
There's
Shortly
a bear.
afterwards, he was picked up by someone in a car that matches the description of Junior's best friend. You remember the old church I told you about? That's William Simpkins Sr. This is his son. I went to school with him after he got himself kicked out of his fancy prep school. Junior was pretty horrible to everyone at school, but he was especially nasty to Bobby. I won't go into details, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby holds a grudge. The spot I'm sending you to is the place where Bobby says the truck took a detour before leaving the reserve. The driver desperately needed to get out of here. So why take a detour? Unless it was absolutely essential.
Yeah, nice little small bear. What was that? I saw something white. Oh wait, this map has mountain goats. Just getting trolled by mountain goats. Some elk. Nothing all that interesting though. Nice big group though. Mixed group of elk and bighorns. Ooh, mule deer. Maybe we can luck into a good mule deer. Not a very good mule deer. Herd management. Put them down anyway. Hunting's going okay. Got a couple golds. Haven't actually shot all that many things. I think I've only shot like 8 animals since I got on the map. But you know how it is running the missions. Ooh, a 9 legendary. I got no points for this muley.
There's the break in the trees. There should be some tracks for you to follow.
At least it was a troll. This is what the developers thought tire tracks looked like. Let's see, what does it actually want me to do with the tire tracks? Follow the trail into the woods. Okay. Kind of some flattened grass, so that's always easy to follow. I remember getting a lot of really good bears. I think it was the Sylvester's Trail up here. Like I would get in the tower and then put like the collar out in the middle, and they just kept wandering in from the south. So just as a spot if you've never been there.
Look, there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail. Whoever it was that drove in here got out. Follow the footprints.
Wait, why does it say I need to go 364 yards that way? Yeah, I'm going to tag that real quick. Sometimes these things get really iffy if you don't tag them in order. Let's see if we can find the first set of tracks next to the tires.
Look,
Yep.
there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail.
Okay, so that should be good enough for the quest.
That tree, it's been marked. Is that a hand?
Is that a hand? What is this model? It's like floating in the middle of the trees. Maybe they pulled it. Too graphic or something.
A bloody handprint? That's really not a good sign. Whose blood is on his hands? Look, there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail. This seems to be the end of the trail. There's a little patch of disturbed soil. Did they bury something? It's a rusty old saw blade. Oh, it's the saw blade that had been attached to the dig team's rock saw. Well, why detach it from the saw and bury it unless it was important? Take another look at the blade. It's not just rusty, is it? It's got blood on it. I'd bet it's the Vandal's blood, too. Okay, don't touch the blade. Leave it there. The deputy's on their way. They'll probably want to talk to you. I think we've just found the missing piece of the puzzle. Great work. I've got an update. Junior and his friend were just pulled over by the state police.
What'd you find,
Guess who
Crack?
has a nasty gash across their hand.
Ooh, it just teleported me. Mission complete. Who done it?
Good morning, my friend. I hope you've enjoyed the last few days of uninterrupted peace and tranquility.
Ooh, that's very nice.
I've just said goodbye to the last of the deputies team. They've gathered up all the evidence they think they'll need. While you've been busy hunting and exploring, I've been in interviews or giving statements to the police, the board, and even the local press. I haven't stopped or slowed down for what feels like at least a week now. I doubt today will be very different. I wanted to catch up with you this morning as I wanted to express my gratitude for the work you've done and ask you for one last big favor. I know I mentioned my dad's concern that there was a more spiritual reason for why things have been tough at the reserve. I can't say that I necessarily agree with him, but I'd like to do something to make him feel better. This job involves a journey to the top of Mount Silver Ridge. I don't trust anyone else to do this. Can you make it to the start of the trail? I think I ought to tell you why I'm sending you over there, right? So, since my dad got sick and I took over the warden position, we've sort of stopped doing a lot of the things that we used to do together. Sadly, this has resulted in us both
This is
missing
the final
bear dance
mission?
back in spring. I know it means a lot to my dad, and I feel bad that we weren't able to
Guess
make
it makes sense. We caught the guy. We found the bloody thing.
It can get pretty tense when we discuss our culture back home. Dad and I see the world through different lenses.
I take the ATV.
I am proud of my heritage and where I come from, but I don't want it to define me as a person. Dad sees that as me turning my back on my community. Since we both missed the bear dance, I plan to make it up to Dad by attending the Sundance in a week's time. You're probably wondering what this has to do with you walking up a mountain, right? Just before I was born,
This looks like a jump.
Grandfather climbed Mount Silver Ridge and stashed a pair of quartz rattles at the top.
Do 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 do. Ooh, good air.
He told me that they were only to be brought out
Oh no,
in times of dire need.
no.
I think that if I bring those rattles with me to the Sundance, Dad will appreciate that I've accepted their significance and paid respect to our beliefs. So, after helping pull the reserve back together, I'm hoping you'll help me comfort my dad. I hope I'm not asking too much.
That's a nice find, man.
So this is it, the Silver Ridge Trail. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I can promise you that the views from the top are worth the climb. Plus, you never know what you might be able to hunt on the way, right? While you're on your way up, why don't I fill you in on the recent news? So, first things first, Junior. I have some mixed news there. Was it Junior that terrorized the reserve? Almost certainly yes. He has, however, been released from prison after one of Daddy's lawyers stepped in to save him.
Rich always win.
He's so cocky that he actually gave an interview to a reporter, but kept using phrases like we and us, as well as the Simpkins family, which raised a few red flags. I am confident that the evidence we've gathered and Bobby Joe's testimony will help to bring the truth out, though. Anyway, in light of everything that went on here, the police are looking at the whole Simpkins family, not just Junior. I suspect that Simpkins Sr. saw an opportunity to get his
this road doesn't lead all the way up there, does it? Alright, we'll just do a little off-roading. Oh. Don't tell me you actually miss grinding muleys. Well, they'll still be there whenever you go back. Almost there. This looks like it's gonna get really steep though. Come on, ATV. You can do it, ATV. I believe in you. I believe. I don't think I'm gonna make it through this. Oh, we're still good. I've seen elk on the west side too. Look over at the railroad. I'm pretty sure I saw an elk earlier today. Oh, we're stuck. There. Alright, we'll proceed on foot. Alright, we'll maybe proceed on foot. Wow, can't go up this one. Okay. Spam jump. Bunny hop our way to victory. Jump. Parkour.
It's amazing up there, isn't it? I've only made the climb a handful of times, but it's such a great view.
That's actually a pretty good
The
view.
rattles should be easy to find. They're in a protective case. Mission accomplished. Thank you.
Very
This
nice.
means a lot to me. Enjoy the view from the top. You earned it. Our outlook is so much brighter, just because you're here with us. When I get back from the Sundance, why don't we spend some time hunting together? The media attention has actually had some unforeseen side effects. Some government inspectors are coming out to visit the polluted lake. I guess there is such a thing as bad press, huh? I'm gonna go get ready for that meeting. Hopefully we can get things moving again. Take care. We'll catch up soon.
Elk drinking time? I don't remember elk drinking time offhand. Alright, so I guess that's that. He's just like, alright, see you around, buddy. Let's see here. All right, yeah, so that ends Silver Ridge Peak's storyline. So thanks for being here as we started off with the Rockies and got all the way through the ascent to the top of the world out here. I'm gonna go dump whoever's still lurking on Foxy's stream if she's up, and if not, just some other random stream then. But yeah, thanks for joining, and let's see what's the next DLC. I think it's actually Tiaroa, which I already did, so I'll end up skipping that one and then just going to the one after that. That should be probably tomorrow afternoon. So thank you very much, and have a good evening. Let's see here, get this raid going. I actually don't see Foxy up. Foxy, are you not up anymore? Oh well, we'll just choose someone else then. Foxy, I'm sorry. Whitetail Grind 467. That sounds great. Have a good evening, y'all.